Welcome to this tutorial video for Microsoft Publisher 2019, a tour. Microsoft Publisher is a useful software program for businesses and organizations. However, when you begin using it, it can be a bit overwhelming. This video is designed to give you a basic understanding of how the software is organized with a specific focus on the ribbon. Specifically, you will be able to do the following after watching this video. First, you'll be able to define Microsoft Publisher. In other words, what it is and what it's used for. You'll also be able to explain how Microsoft Publisher is organized, so you'll know where everything is and what it's called. And finally, you'll be able to identify various parts of the ribbon, which is where all of the commands are located. Let's begin by covering what Microsoft Publisher is and what it's used for. Microsoft Publisher is a software program that's designed to create a variety of publications that are typically printed for distribution or marketing. Some of the most common publications are listed here, but this is not an all-inclusive list by any means. In many cases, the folks who use Microsoft Publisher are those who own their own businesses or work or volunteer for small organizations. Oftentimes, small business owners and small organizations use Microsoft Publisher to fulfill their marketing and graphic design needs. In order to effectively use Microsoft Publisher, you'll need to know where everything is located. So let's take a tour of the software. Our tour begins in the upper left corner with the Quick Access Toolbar. The Quick Access Toolbar is a customizable command menu. You can add or delete buttons off of this toolbar by using the down arrow. By clicking on the down arrow, it displays a list of buttons that you can add or take away from the toolbar. The ones with check marks in front of them are the ones that are currently on the menu. Should you decide to add an additional one, you simply need to go to that command and click on it. And then the software adds that button to the toolbar. Should you decide you no longer want that command, you can click on the down arrow again, find that command, and click on it, and it removes the button. One button that's worth mentioning on the Quick Access Toolbar is the Undo button, located here. It looks like a backward-facing arrow. The Undo button will come in handy as you're learning the software. If you accidentally click on a command that does something to your publication that you didn't mean to do, you can simply click on the Undo button and the software will undo your last command and it will be as though it never happened. So remember that Undo button. I think you'll get a lot of use out of it while you're learning the software. The next stop on our tour is the ribbon. The ribbon is located at the top of the software and stretches all the way across the screen. The ribbon contains all of the commands that you will need to perform the most common Microsoft Publisher tasks. The ribbon is divided into tabs, such as the File tab, the Home tab, the Insert tab, etc. These tabs are further divided into groups. So for example, the Home tab has a clipboard group, a font group, and a paragraph group. We're going to explore the ribbon in much more detail later on in this video. Our next stop is the Page Navigation area. The Page Navigation area is located on the left-hand side of the screen and displays thumbnail images of all of the pages in your publication. It allows you to easily select, add, delete, duplicate, and rearrange pages in your publication. The next stop on our tour are the rulers. The rulers are located along the left and top of the publication viewing window. These rulers help you to align objects within your publication. Next, we have the publication viewing window, located here. The publication viewing window is where you will create and edit your publications. The next stop on our tour is the page counter. The page counter is located in the lower left corner and tells you what page is in the viewing window out of how many pages there are. For example, if you have a 5-page publication and you're currently working on page 2 in the viewing window, the page counter would read page 2 of 5. The next stop on our tour is located to the right of the page counter. It is the mouse position. The mouse position indicates the position of your mouse in the viewing window. You can see this number change as you move your mouse around in the publication. It's just another tool that's designed to help you position and align elements within your publication. To the right of the mouse position is object size. Object size indicates the size of an object that you have selected. This tool is designed to help you resize objects in your publications so that they are the perfect fit for what you need. To the right-hand side, there are the view buttons. The view buttons allow you to select a 1-page or 2-page view in the viewing window. Currently, the 1-page view is selected. If you selected the 2-page view, it would put these 2 pages side by side in the viewing window. To the right of the view buttons is the zoom function. The zoom buttons allow you to zoom into and out of your publication viewing window. You can adjust that zoom level in 2 ways, with the minus and plus buttons. So for example, if I wanted to zoom in even further into my publication, I can keep clicking the plus sign. I can click the minus sign to zoom back out. Or I can grab this bar in the middle and click, hold, and drag to zoom in or out. The next stop on our tour is the Show Whole Page button, located to the right of the zoom functions. The Whole Page button allows you to quickly reorient the page in the publication viewing window to display the whole page. So for example, if I am zoomed into the document and then I click this Show Whole Page button, it automatically takes the page, zooms it out so that I can see the whole page at once. The next stop on our tour are the scroll bars. Scroll bars are located at the bottom of the screen and on the right side of the screen. These allow you to move the publication to the left, right, up, or down in the viewing window. Well, that concludes our overall tour of the software. Now, let's take a detailed look at the ribbon. As stated earlier, the ribbon contains all of the commands that you need to create a publication in Microsoft Publisher. The ribbon is divided into tabs, such as the File tab, the Home tab, the Insert tab, etc. Each of these tabs is divided into groups. For example, the Home tab has a clipboard group, a font group, a paragraph group, etc. Some groups even have additional functions that are not displayed on the ribbon simply because there's not room for them. If you notice a down arrow in the lower right corner of any grouping, that means that there are additional commands that belong in that group that wouldn't fit in the ribbon. If you click on that down arrow, it displays a pop-up window that allows you to access all of those functions that belong in that group, whether they're on the ribbon or not. Now let's take a closer look at each of the tabs in the ribbon so that you'll have a general idea of the functions that you can find in each. We'll start with the File tab on the left-hand side. By clicking on the File tab, you can access file functions. For example, you can open a file, save a file, print a file, or close a file. I find the most common ones used in this tab are the Save function and the Print function. I encourage you to save your work often as you're working on your publications so that you don't lose all of the good work that you've done. And then when you have your publication finished and it's time to print it, you can use this print command to print the publications. Next, we have the Home tab. Clicking on the Home tab allows you to access some of the most commonly used functions in Publisher, such as font formatting, paragraph formatting, the Arrange functions, and a lot more. I highly encourage you to play with these because they can do some really fun things and add a lot of flair to your publications. For example, the font grouping alone allows you to change the color of your text, you can bold your text, you can change the type and size of your text. So play around with these functions and don't forget your Undo tab if there's something that you end up doing that you don't like. The next tab is the Insert tab. Clicking on the Insert tab allows you to access a variety of features that can be inserted into a publication, such as pictures, tables, text boxes, and a lot more. The next tab is the Page Design tab. Clicking on the Page Design tab allows you to access options to assist you in designing your publications, such as page setup choices, page layout choices, color schemes, and more. These are fun to experiment with, so click on a few, see what they add to your publications to see if you like them. The next tab is the Mailings tab. The Mailings tab allows you to access the options for the Mail Mode feature in Microsoft Publisher. The Mailings tab is typically used for publications that will eventually be printed and mailed. You can do envelopes from here as well as labels. The next tab is the Review tab. Clicking on the Review tab allows you to access editing and proofreading functions for your publication. The most common one used is the spelling check. The spelling check is located on the left-hand side, and by clicking on it, it initiates the software to look through your publication to check for possible spelling errors. I would recommend that you proofread your document even if you do your spelling check, because there are some things that spell check can miss from time to time. The next tab is the View tab. Clicking on the View tab allows you to change the way your publication is displayed in the viewing window while you're working on it. You'll see that the View buttons or the Layout buttons are listed here, just like they are on the lower right-hand corner. And you also have a Zoom function that's also located on the lower right-hand corner. But there are many other options located in this tab, so you may want to play with it and click on a few things to see if any of those would be helpful for you. And then finally, we have the Help tab. Clicking on the Help tab allows you to access a few basic help features that are embedded into Microsoft Publisher. Microsoft Publisher is a software program that requires practice, patience, and some trial and error. Hopefully, this video gave you a basic understanding of how the software is organized so that you can better find the functions you need to begin creating your own publications. Don't forget your undo button, have fun, and good luck.